Samsung apologized for not innovating enough, Huawei's triple foldable is having a bit of a rough patch, Apple slowing down the production of their Vision Pros coming up in RH News. Our first story is about Samsung apology and oh boy, it's fascinating. Samsung Electronics has three major divisions. We've got Consumer Electronics CE, IT and Mobile Communications IM, and Device Solutions DS. The head of Device Solutions, Jun Young Hyun, apologized after the profit for the third quarter was disclosed. London Stock Exchange Group or LSEG expected profit to be 10.3 trillion Korean wons. And Samsung showed a 9.1 trillion won profit. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. In the past, there were several occasions where stakeholders' expectations weren't met. Mr. Jun was recently put in charge of the Device Solutions wing, and we talked about that situation in this episode back in May, but let's have a look at the apology itself. I'm not gonna read the entire apology, but I highly recommend you guys to read it in full. In the letter, the leadership team took full responsibility for the underwhelming financial performance. Samsung's chip business took a hit because of SK Hynix taking over the chip business, providing a range of memory chips on behalf of a diversified product portfolio. In terms of high bandwidth memory or HBM, Nvidia holds a significant stronghold on the market. Additionally, it was just way too late to respond in the AI market. But he could have just explained all of this. Hell, he didn't need an apology letter. There are a number of reasons for this move. One of the crucial ones is that Mr. Jun has been with the company for more than 2 decades, but he was only recently put in charge of DS Wing, so he wants to assure the investors and establish his competent leadership. But he said something else that gave me and so many others a glimmer of hope. He admitted a problem with the people leading the business, offered a solution to reevaluate everything from corporate governance to competitive advantage, acknowledged companies' recent tendency to remain in their comfort zone and lack of innovation. The most important thing, however, he said we're not just gonna maintain the status quo, but rather rearm ourselves to reach even higher. There is no corporate fluff or media glazing in this letter. Now you might be thinking, big deal, it's just their memory business, right? Does it have anything to do with smartphones? And the answer is yes. First up, this division is responsible for the infamous Exynos. Secondly, the apology wasn't just addressed to a few key stakeholders, but to consumers as well, and it was done on behalf of Samsung's Electronics. Thirdly, and this is the most important thing, the company is publicly listed on the Korean Stock Exchange. It isn't listed as Samsung Electronics, Device Solution Wings. It's the entire company. AI and smartphones are going to be hand in hand, including the other components such as chipset, the LPDDR RAMs, and the UFS series storage chips. So saying they're intrinsically linked would be an understatement. A couple of months back, we got a report that Samsung's vice president was furious with Samsung's mobile division and the man at the helm, ROTM, for not innovating enough and copying its competitors' design. In fact, I did a whole detailed deep dive which you should absolutely watch to have this entire thing make even more sense. I got so many comments on that video saying that no one says anything when Apple copies Samsung. Why are you criticizing Samsung? I got one comment that tried to discredit the whole thing, saying it was a hoax. And people believed that comment. First up, I will criticize anyone and any company that makes anti-consumer decisions or come up with iterative products. It's my job to be neutral, guys, and be aware of my biases as much as possible. And you should be too. I know it's hard when someone criticizes a thing or a brand you love. Trust me, I love Samsung. But you don't need to defend them. The purpose of a critical review is to give company constructive feedback and let them know that they can't get away with ripping off consumers. We should always keep our brand loyalty aside and advocate for objective reviews so we can all get a better product and get more bang for our buck. I know it's the internet, but I also believe we can all do better. You got higher ups at Samsung apologizing for not innovating enough. And while everyone agreed on it, diehard fans were still neglecting any valid criticism. Anyways, let's move on to our next story. Huawei recently launched the world's first triple foldable, and despite its shortcomings, it's a very impressive device engineering-wise. Unfortunately, the durability has come under question after several videos of broken Mate XTs going up on Bilibili and other social media platforms. Business Korea reports Huawei is yet to acknowledge this and issue a statement, but this does not look good. While I can understand that Samsung went through this exact same thing on a much bigger scale in 2019, since then we've had more than 6 years of improvements in design, architecture, and durability. This shouldn't have happened. While we can only speculate at this point regarding the key cause, it might be the exposed display when the phone is folded. Even a little bit of pressure or impact might cause the phone to go haywire. There might be other issues in conjunction with this design choice, but we'll have to wait and see. I really hope that other companies can come up with their own implementations so we can drive the price down and develop more durable and exciting products. And finally, a report from The Information claims that Apple is scaling back its production of Vision Pros. The Verge states that this nicely follows an interview posted on the Wall Street Journal where Tim says, "Obviously I'd like to sell more, but it's not a mass market product." Really? You don't say. He also said that it's for early adapters, people who want tomorrow's technology today. But why are you charging distant sci-fi future prices? Corporate speak at its finest. Didn't even mention the plethora of problems with it. They are focusing on cheaper alternatives, but we know what Apple cheap products look like, so I wouldn't expect much. Well guys, that's it for this episode. Samsung's story was really important and it needed a lot of dissecting, so I thought I'd talk about it. Tune in next time for another episode. Thanks for your support guys. Please like and subscribe because
I have a bad case of diarrhea.
This is Rogue Hat. Catch you guys later.